Hey guys, Break here. Welcome to the next episode in my Professions series. Today we are going to be looking at alchemy. Now, alchemy is a bit of a more complex profession in that there are a lot of areas of alchemy and lots of ways you can make gold. So we will go over a few of these ways, all the major Legion ways, and a couple of old ways which still work to this day. Before we begin, again, if you do want to get this as a Legion profession, you just go to the trainer in Dalaran, do all of the quests, the big quest chain that you get. You'll have to do some dungeons as well. And once you've done all that, you go to the vendor next to the trainer, which will teach you some various recipes. And the rest of the recipes you learn from crafting the flasks yourself. And from some certain heroic dungeon bosses. First off, as always, we'll look at whether we should have this on our main character or on our alt. And I would definitely say get this on an alt. Why? Because alchemy uses very few bloods. Unless you're doing the Infernal Alchemist stone for the shuffle with Obliterum, which I don't think's a very good use of blood, but that's up to you. Or unless you're doing the potion of prolonged power, which is a half decent use of bloods, but I still think there's a lot better uses. Both of those are an option, but I would definitely say you don't need so many bloods for alchemy. Your main money makers are not going to require bloods, so I would say get this on an alt character. So first of all, we'll talk about the Legion potions and flasks, and these are the things that are going to be making the main part of your gold, and the thing that most people are going to be doing, especially with new patches constantly coming out in Legion, and 7.3 we're getting even more potions and flasks, I think. Definitely one of the two, so there'll always be a high demand for flasks and potions. Obviously you use them for raiding, and they are always being sold on the auction house. So how do we make gold from these? To start with, the potions people use at the start of fights, and like the late torrent potion for mana, etc. All of those generally sell for a decent amount. I've got rank 3s and not making too much on the late torrent. In fact, I'm losing gold, but we'll discuss how to fix that later. Obviously, Deadly Grace, Old War, those are really good because they don't require bloods and they sell really, really well. And then there are the main money makers, which are the flasks. 10,000 Scars, Countless Armies, 7th Demon, Whispered Pact for all the main stats. Now all of these sell crazily well, and in general they're going to be what you want to go to with your herbs in order to make the most gold. Now there are a few things you have to be wary of with these flasks. First of all, if you don't have rank 3, you're probably not going to be making any gold, so you want to get rank 3. All you need is rank 2 and then craft a load of the flasks and you'll eventually proc the rank 3. They keep nerfing this and making it easier and easier to get, so it shouldn't take too long. I did it before they nerfed it and it didn't take me very long, so it should be even quicker for you guys. It shouldn't be a problem really. As long as you've got a bit of starting gold, you can quickly get to the rank 3s and start making gold. An important thing to remember about the rank 3s is that it has a chance to create multiple flasks. I believe it's about 1.4 or 1.5 times as many flasks, so if I were to craft 10 Flask of 7th Demon, I'd probably end up with 14 or 15 rather than 10 because of the flask chance. And if you do use TSM and you go to my TSM groups and strings that I made a video about a couple of weeks ago, you'll be able to take my Legion group and operation. The operation here, as I've taken from Sheria's profile, 1.473, so that will take into account the extra proc chance when it's working out your profit. For example, if you look at Flask of 10,000 Scars, crafting cost is 603 gold. The min buyout is 498, so you're like, hang on, I'm losing 100 gold. But no, if you take into account the rank 3 proc chance, which this does, then it actually shows a profit of 130 gold. So that's really useful, and anyone who has TSM should definitely look into getting this, because it shows you the real profit you're making. However, the most important thing, the very, very most important thing, and if there's anything you're going to take away from this video, I'd hope it would be this for alchemy. You're not going to be making gold with the flasks unless you're smart with your stacking. For example, they're really high today, the prices, so I'm actually making gold on most flasks anyway, because it's reset day. But if it wasn't reset day, the prices would be lower and this would probably all be negative. And then you're like, hang on, how are you making gold? Well, it's very simple. Flask of Whispered Pact, TSM says it's going for 431, because it is, as you can see. And so the profit is 42 gold, which isn't great. However, you want to be selling in stacks of 10, 5, 10 and 20. That's what I sell in. I sell in stacks of 5, stacks in 10 and stacks of 20. Now, those stacks you're going to price a lot higher than the stacks of 1 that are the lowest. And you might be thinking, why would anyone buy out these 3 stacks of 10 here? Why wouldn't they just buy out the 22 and then another 10 and then they get 30 odd? It doesn't matter. People are lazy and they will buy out more expensive stacks if they're in a nice number that they can easily look, oh, 10 should be enough, I'll just buy that. And if you look at the 10, it's going for 600 gold, which is, well, a lot more. You're making huge profits with that, in fact. Instead of 400 is 600, so you're making 200 gold per flask, or over 2k per stack of 10. And this just works every time. Like, someone's tried to reset it, stacks 20 for 1,500 each. That's probably a bit ambitious, but you get the idea. If you post in higher stacks, pretty stacking, you're going to be able to make a lot more gold. And I think it's the only way you're going to really make gold with alchemy, because the competition's really high, so you have to be smart about it. In fact, I could buy up all these now and relist them in stacks of 10, like 7 stacks of 10 for 599, and they'd almost certainly sell and I'd make a great profit just from flipping. But I want to release the video soon, so we're not going to be doing that. But you guys, give it a go, especially on reset day. I think you'll find you'll make a nice little flip. Again, here, it's not as good. It's 457 and it's a stack of 20. But you can again be smart. Someone might be, oh, I don't want a stack of 20, I want a stack of 5. Where's the first stack of 5? 600 gold. So instead of 450 each, it's 600 each. And you could sell in stacks of 5. If someone only wants 5, they're going to be like, oh, do I buy 10? That'd be 5,000 gold. Or do I buy a stack of 5 at 600? That's only 3,000 gold. They're going to buy that, obviously, because it's cheaper. Again, you just got to be smart with your stacking, and that's going to help you a lot with alchemy. So apart from the Legion potions, what else can you do with alchemy? A great thing is transmuting. This is something which you generally can only do once a day, and it turns certain materials into others. I just did the transmute Pyrium bar and the transmute True Gold, so I can no longer do those. But you get the idea. Certain transmute you can do more than once per day, but most, like the living steel, you can only do once a day. And these are really cool little ways to make gold on the side, especially if you have a lot of alts with alchemy. You can just do the transmog on each, do the transmute on each alt, and you're going to be making a nice bit of side income. Particularly on the ones that you don't have to only do one a day of, such as transmute True Gold. Look at this, it gets you 900 gold profit every time you do it, just with the Pyrium and the volatiles if you just buy them on the auction house and transmute it. So that's a really simple flip you can do. True Gold does sell because it's used for Vial of the Sands, which we'll discuss later. And again, it's just a great way to make gold. Another thing to take into account here is the Masteries for alchemy. You can become a transmute master, you can become a potion master and an elixir master, I think, those 3. Now you just go to the Stormwind or Orgrimmar trainer and you can pick up these. You just got to hand in a couple of materials and you'll get that mastery. And that just means that you'll have a chance to proc extra each day. For example, if I was transmute keep saying it wrong. If I was a transmute master, I'd be able to craft these, and sometimes it would proc times 2, times 3, even times 5. So you're going to be making even more gold than what it says here. I'm not a transmute master, I'm actually a potion master, because, as you'll see in a second, I make the flasks for the Vial of Sands. And let's go create all, and we will hopefully see a proc. Or knowing my luck, we won't see a proc. I don't know why I'm pressing create all, but it's not created. Oh, there we go, look, times 2. So I am a flask master, so I get extra procs for my items. I probably will switch to transmute master because generally that's more profitable. I was just having to make so many of these flasks for Vial of the Sands that I didn't think it was worth doing transmute over this. Anyway, since we're talking a lot about Vial, let's discuss it. This is huge for alchemy, but it's also hugely hard to get. I'm not going to do a guide for it here, there's plenty of guides online. Basically you have to do a load of archaeology, like loads, hours and hours and hours, and hope you get really lucky, and eventually you'll get the pattern. And this is a mount, it's a great seller. As you can see, you make about 40,000 profit per mount, sometimes even more, and they sell very regularly because it's a 2-person fly mount, so it's very sought after. Look at the sale rate, 0.26, which is really high for a mount. It's got to be one of the highest for any mount out there. So yeah, really, really good seller if you're lucky enough to get it, like I am. And that's going to just make alchemy so much better for you, because it just gives you, you know, you can sell 10 of these a month, probably quite easily. So that's what, 400,000 profit a month just from one thing. So again, if you have the patience and the luck to farm this and get it, it's going to be well worth your while. So in terms of other old world items, even if you don't have Vial of the Sands recipe, you can sell the Flask of Titanic Strength that I was making there, and the other Vial flask, and they will sell on the auction house for people lazy who have Vial recipe, just want to buy them off the auction house. They make a good profit. Obviously things such as Potion of Luck, that always makes a nice profit, and certain invisibility potions, stuff like that. Drainic Invisibility Potion, for example, that also sells really well. People use it in Mythic Plus, etc. So as you can probably tell, there's just a lot of options. There's also some Legion transmutes, Skin to Herbs. There's also some weird ones like Trousers to Meat or something like that. I forgot, but anyway, you just unlock those by doing the transmute, and that's generally going to make you a profit as well. And finally, we'll talk about the shuffles you can do. The main two are the Ancient Healing Potion, Obliterum Shuffle. You obviously need rank 3, and you just obliterate the healing potions. You get a very few ash, so it takes a long time, but if you are patient, this is generally a safe way to make gold, because no one can be bothered to do it because it's so slow. The other option is with the Infernal Alchemist Stone. Oh look, Azuna's under attack, what a shame. Infernal Alchemist Stone, also rank 3 you kind of need. It requires 3 bloods, but each one can easily be turned into quite a bit of Obliterum in the forge, and that's another great way people use their bloods with alchemy to make the most profit. So if you do have bloods and you do have alchemy, I'd recommend doing the Infernal Alchemist Shuffle if you want to maximize the use of that. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. As you can tell, alchemy has so many options for gold making, and despite what some people say, like rank 3s don't make profit on my server, etc, etc, you just have to be smart with it, sell the right stack at the right price, and you will make gold with alchemy. I'm pretty confident in 7.3 it may be the best profession, because at the moment it's the only thing that can transmute the new Obliterum item, which lets you upgrade the new crafted gear. That probably will be changed, but for now, Alchemy's looking at a really strong prospect, so get it while you can, I would say. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and until next time, see ya!